there are those times too where like I will hint to you, like this one last episode we recorded, right? Where I was like, I got a story, but I'm not going to tell you. What I love about what's going to happen right now, I think this would be great for the viewers.
Right.
We don't know what we're going to talk about. We've talked a little bit about what I think would be fun. Let's gamble. Let's play some. Let's throw the dice. And what I want to do is I'm going to put this in your hands.
Okay.
I want you to pick whether it's your story, our story, both, mine. Let's just pick something and then let's see where we take it. Cause I have a feeling it's going to be really good, but let's just play that. Let's do some gambling and you throw out any idea that you have and we'll see what we can riff on about. What are you thinking about today? What do you want? What is AV Vorndrana?
Here's
want to
what
break down.
So here's what's going to happen. For the viewers watching, this is literally like legit. Like we're just figuring this out on the fly. I need to ask my colleague, Aaron, do you want to go this more serious route or do you want to go funny? You tell me which path to take and I'll take it from there.
You know what? I'm actually feeling funny today. It doesn't mean that there can't be some serious elements to it, but I'm thinking more funny just today. That's me.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Absolutely. Yeah, same. All right. So, Aaron, I'm going to take you back to a situation.
See what I'm saying? This is what I love about this. I just said funny. All of a sudden, you become a storyteller. You got a robe on. You got a book. Hey, once upon a time, and we're sitting there on our little carpet squares, ready for you. Go ahead.
You got your crackers and cheese. You ready?
I got my apple slices and peanut butter.
Let's get to work. Okay, story time. So I'm going to take you back to probably would have been 2005 or 6. Okay, I'm not going to say the name of the employer I was working for. Shout out to the company. Great company. Had a good time there. Shout out to the staff. Shout out to the staff. Spent a good good few years at this place. But I want to tell you, quick highlight. I end up going to work. It's a normal day in the summer, super hot. This is the type of vibe where we're playful. We have a good time at work. We work really hard. We work long hours. We like to have a good time. 95 degrees, 100 degrees in the summer, right? It goes from what I just told you there to me being in the office of the area manager, being asked pretty intense questions. So, how
does this start? First of all, what is this place? Are you working inside or outside on this?
All right, I'll give you a clue here, because you'll know when I tell you what I'm going to tell you. My best friend Aaron will know where I worked. This was a rental car company, so I was working. I was working at the airport, and I was juggling. I was a manager. Let's throw this out here. I was actually a manager at the time. Probably didn't take my managerial duties as responsible as I probably should have.
You're working up the corporate ladder. You're walking up the corporate ladder. There it is.
I'm working up the corporate ladder. I'm also not very happy in this position. It doesn't mean I didn't work hard, but I was a little bit more playful and energetic in my jobs than I am now. You guys see me breaking it down, charismatic. You know, when I have to put on different hats, I go into work mode and I'm in a business meeting. You might not recognize me. I mean, I shift a little bit, still the same guy, laser focused. So I'm at work. It's a normal day, renting cars, going back and forth between the indoor. Let me take you guys inside this working environment. You go inside to the counter. There's shuttle buses that come off from the airline. People get off the bus. They come to the counter. We type up their contract. Then we walk them down out these doors to go outside to a lot.
You're escorting people. You're walking people out. You're walking people out. I've seen it. Got the button up, nice slacks, shiny shoes. You're walking out.
Here's the thing. We walk out into 100-degree weather wearing a full suit. We're dying inside. We're trained to put a clown mask on. Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm going to take you to your 2003 Chevy Cobalt, and we're going to check for dents. So we're in this beautiful air-conditioned building. We know what our fate awaits when we open those doors. We're going to go outside into 100-degree blaring sun in our full suit. So we walk our customers back and forth. We take them to their cars. They go on to their merry way in their air condition. We go back into our sweat-soaked suits to go back into the air-conditioned building in hopes of drying off between the next customer.
You're toweling
So
off. You're toweling off like LeBron James at halftime. You got a cups of Gatorade? Come on.
we're in an ice bath. It's halftime. So again, I have a small team that I'm in charge of. Our stats, how much of the insurance did we sell? How many upgrades? You get somebody that reserves an economy car. Hey, why don't you rent the Chevy Cadillac? It's all part of a business. At the end of the day, it's all about money, Aaron.
Upselling.
It's all about money. Why can't we live in a society that's not about money? And this may be a whole nother episode, but everything results. Hey, how about we just take a look at the human compassion element of it sometimes, right? Anyway, I don't want to go too deep into those weeds, but this was a unique day. We woke up feeling a little funny and maybe wanting to have some pranks in the office that day. Playful pranks. Again, nothing that would ever hurt anybody. Just all in fun. I think
good old-fashioned American fun.
Good old-fashioned American fun. Good old boy fun. So my buddy, I won't use his name, his actual name. We'll call him
I love our names on this show. Bob.
We'll call him Bob. We had
Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Bob.
And this was my coworker, Bob. Funny dude. Him and I would be in cahoots sometimes on some of these little things that we would do. And we weren't the only ones. A lot of people did. But there was another particular person this day. We'll call him Jim. So we have Bob and Jim. Bob and I are working together to put together a fun, playful prank. We don't know who is going to actually fall victim to the prank. That's what's special about this. So I'll tell you what we did. When we walk out those doors into the heat and you walk down the path, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a kiosk outside, okay? Where we can go in, we can grab the keys to the cars, we could go in, we could wipe the sweat off of our face. It's right outside in the lot.
Shout out to the staff.
Shout out to the staff. There's a dramatic pause here for a reason. So we decide to rig a cup of water on top of I feel like I'm in a Tom and Jerry cartoon at this point because we're just having fun. It's like these dumb little pranks, chasing people around, having a good time. We somehow fashion a cup to the door that when the door opens, a cup of water will come down on somebody's head. Now,
hold on.
Look,
so you just want to be clear: a customer's head, or an employee.
Here's the thing:
or an employee's head. Where are we going here, Anthony?
Aaron, this is. I'm glad you bring this up, and here's why. We didn't think that part through. In my brain, I'm like, oh yeah, like the only people that come through this door are my colleagues. Like customers don't come through this door typically. And I think you all think you know where this is going based off what Aaron and I just said, but I assure you don't. But we did not think about the customer element of it. Probably should have, because that would have not ended well. So we don't even do a test run, I don't think. We literally just said we were confident in our contraption.
Gotcha.
We might as well send it to the patent and trade office. Get the patent on this thing.
You're not running through simulations. You're not beta testing this.
I'm not in the flight simulator.
Let's go. Exactly. You're one and done. You're one and done. You got the contraction, and you're just hoping first time it works. But you're confident. You guys are oozing confidence. Who wouldn't be in those suits?
Yeah. Bob and I, we're confident. We take our suit jackets off. We're on ladders. We're rigging up the styrofoam cup on a damn rope, by the way. So we set the trap. Now what? We wait. So we watch our coworkers coming down, hand in hand. Well, not really hand in hand, but walking with their customers to their cars.
They could be if they wanted to. That's great.
They could be. They could be. We're a welcoming company.
We're a welcoming state. Come to Ohio. We'll hold your hand. We'll
hold your hand. We'll give you a hug.
Get you a warm blanket and a bottle. Come on.
Get you a
I'll
warm blanket in a bottle.
Burp you after giving you a Pepsi. It's all good.
Hey, thank you so much for choosing us for your rental experience today. Here's your keys to your car. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and do a 160. I'm going to go ahead and burp you. Just want to make sure when you get in the car that you don't have any flatulence that might discard onto the dashboard. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine talking about upselling? Are you serious?
You're like, hey, real quick, shout out to Impractical Jokers for their season release. They released season 10 last night. Shout out to the staff. One of the funniest episodes I've ever seen.
Shout out.
We are a fan of Impractical Jokers here at Breaking It Down. Had to shout that out because it's kind of making me think a little bit about this is where things are going.
And one last thing before you get to the next part of the story, I just wanted to say, to that point, you'd be very proud. Lennon, my bonus son, you know what he just said to me? He goes, "Have you ever seen the show Impractical Jokers?" He goes, "I love it." I said, "Got another goat." There he is. Got another goat. So shout out to Impractical Jokers. Shout out to Impractical Jokers. We'll have to talk offline. Their new season is packed with celebrities, including Chris Jericho. So, let's go.
Yes. So awesome. We'll talk about that offline. This is Lennon.
This is Lennon, my son. Yeah, my son Lennon.
Yeah, Lennon.
He's like, "Have you heard about it?" I'm like, "Haven't heard of it." And he said, "I love the show." I said, "I got another goat who loves the show too." So we're in good company. So we're in
good company.
Before I started going down this rabbit hole of taking it to a new level by enticing customers to get the insurance by burping them when they come in there, let's pause there. So no burping's going on, but your customers, they're coming in, right? You've got the cup rigged. You haven't tested it on the kiosk. You're not thinking customers are going to go there. Where's this going next?
Well, to your point, thank you for picking us back up there. The contraption is rigged. It's a waiting game. I feel like we're like set up camp in like some war zone. We're just like, okay, the landmine is set.
Right.
Who's going to walk over it? So again, it's a hot day, setting the context. In our mind, we're like, all right, what is the worst case scenario when somebody opens this store? They're like, oh, real funny. You guys are really funny. You're real clever. Man, I'll tell you what, I needed that bath on a hot day. So we're waiting. See a coworker coming. I'm like, Bob, this might be it. This might be our guy. We see him walking. Comes closer. It's like slow motion as we're watching him come because we know what's about to go down. Okay. This is Jim. Remind you, Bob is my buddy.
Bob's your buddy. Jim's the other coworker.
Jim is the other coworker. The door opens
to the kiosk.
We're in the kiosk. We're watching. Why didn't we film this? I don't know. I'm going to try to demo this. So make sure my mic cable's here. Okay. So
I got you. I hear you. We hear you.
The door opens. Hey,
Jim.
The eagle has landed. Mission accomplished. Our target has been acquired. Jim fell victim to the cup of water. Here's what we didn't see coming. We had thought a playful reaction. Okay. There was an awkward pause where he did something like this. Well, I can't work wet. He flips a freaking light switch.
Oh, this man. Dude, you caught him at the worst day.
Aaron, I have suspect to believe that this gentleman was looking for a way out. We gave him an opportunity.
I can't.
I'm taking myself back. I haven't told this story in forever, and I am almost like I'm back in the moment. So Jim is visibly pissed off. Okay. I thought at this point, he's just going to be like, man, what the heck, guys? Like, and then just kind of walk out. He decides in this moment to run towards a water cooler. Okay. So let me just paint the picture.
I can't. Oh, what's happening now?
There, okay. Everybody that's worked in an office environment, we all know the white water cooler that comes about waist high and sits a 5 gallon, I think
Culligan
maybe
man.
5 gallon
Hey,
or
Culligan
bigger.
man. Yeah.
They're sitting in there. This guy picks up the
No.
entire water jug. He throws it at Bob. He- Aaron,
What are you
listen,
thinking when this is happening? How are you even?
honestly, okay, look, like
Hey, Anthony, can I just say something real quick? I think the viewers can also look. You hit a domino. You didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know what you were going to be doing. You hit one domino, and there's chaos to follow.
that's it. That's a great point. One domino. The whole thing comes down, right?
Mhm.
I don't know what was going through this guy's mind. I mean, to run over, pick up a 5 gallon tank of water. That is heavy.
Yeah,
And this guy was big. He was a
that's
big
not
guy.
a fun prank anymore. Now we're talking assault.
Now we're on the lines of assault. So what's going through my mind? And I want to dissect this moment by moment because I feel that it's important. So when I saw him pick up the water jug, what was going through my brain is, what the F is going on? I'm
Mm.
going to get fired.
Yeah.
That's what's going through my mind. Then I see him launch it at Bob, and I see Bob diving out of the way for his life. We're in a war zone now. So
You thought you were before. You are now.
yeah, I'm in a war zone. I see, it's like slow motion. I see Bob flying. The water cooler just misses him. It hits the thing. This guy, he looks at us. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I said, I can't work wet. He might have said that at the end. Either way it was said, he storms out. He gets in his car. I watched him into a little Jeep. It was a little Jeep thing. I don't even know what the heck it was. Shout out to Jeep. And I see him peel out. He peels out of the lot. Takes off. Aaron, at this point, am I in a simulation? I don't know if it's real. I look over at Bob. He's on the ground. So now it's almost like when you watch these movies, like war movies. Again, not comparing war to something playful like this, but like
It's an
when you watch
analogy. It's an
when you
analogy.
watch it's an analogy. When you watch a film and a battle scene happens, and then the calm, there's like the dust settles, and you kind of look around, right?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, because within a matter of 60 seconds, we had water prank hit perfectly to in a potential assault situation where someone is throwing a 5 gallon water jug at my coworker. That clocks him in the head. We're talking serious injury,
Right.
right? Thank God that none of that happened. So then this guy peels out. He leaves. So I'm like, Bob.
Well,
Bob.
Here, redo it again. So say so like, and then just say Bob.
So like Bob, I look over at him. He's on the ground. I'm making sure he's okay. There's water everywhere. This thing, I mean, it's flooded out.
You might as get a life raft. Get some.
We needed a life raft. We needed a life raft. So I'm like, okay. I'm looking around. Did anybody witness this? I don't think anybody saw anything.
That's what I was thinking. Is there customers?
It's like my brain is foggy in the moment where like who was exactly outside. But I remember Bob and I sitting there. We're like, all right, what the heck are we going to say to people as to where Jim went?
Right.
Because we're keeping tabs on our employee. What happened to Jim? So now, I'm faced with, oh shit. I'm going to need to have a conversation with somebody, and I'm going to have to take responsibility for this. Right? This sucks. So a little bit of time goes by. We kind of like calm down, get the call into the office. Yeah. So
word got out.
We're caught. We're POWs at this point. So like we were in enemy territory setting up landmines. aka water jugs, cups of water. We're caught. We're now being interrogated. So the higher up person, like we're talking area level managers, like
Yeah.
2 or 3 levels above me, calls us into the office.
Hey, Anthony,
Sits us
could
down.
you have Anthony, why don't you have a seat?
Hey, why don't you guys have a seat? This guy, I'll never forget him. Super polished, amazing suit, slicked
Great
back
suit.
hair.
Yeah. Heat doesn't affect him.
There's a possibility. Is he mafia? I don't know. So he looks like he's straight up out of The Godfather. So I'm sitting in this office next to my buddy, and I look over at him. He looks over at me, and we're like,
That's Bob, right?
yeah.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, this is going down. He does a dramatic pause himself. He looks at us both, like individually in the eyes, and he's like, can you explain why Jim just quit?
You're like, funny story.
So Bob looks over at me and he's like, I think he was kind of looking at me for leadership in this capacity because I was technically.
You've worked your way up. You've worked your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's time to shine. Hey,
It's
guess
time
what?
to take a look in the mirror.
Well, Anthony, there's 10 seconds left on the clock. You're down 3. Who's taking the shot?
Okay. Basically, a lot of NBA drama going on right now. I was Kyrie Irving in 2016.
What a reference.
The shot of a lifetime. The shot
Shot of
around
a
the world.
lifetime.
Aaron,
Yep.
he passed me the ball. I had to take the shot.
Take the shot.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm a responsible young adult. I'm going to take ownership of this. So I point blank said, hey, look, here's the situation. I'm just going to come clean. Innocent Frank. I'm going to shoot you straight here. I will tell you his last name. We'll just go last name now. Purdy. We'll call him Purdy. I look at Purdy and I say, listen, we pranked Jim. It was just an innocent prank. We tied a no matter how serious you want to be in a situation like this,
You can't.
here's the thing. I think for a split second, he was going to take me serious. Purdy was like, you know what? Anthony, stand-up guy. Bob, stand-up guy. We hired him in here for a reason. They give a lot of burps to our customers.
There
Good
it is.
people.
Shout
out to the staff. Thank you for that. The minute that I crossed into, we fashioned a cup of water on top of a door to tip onto somebody is the minute that any seriousness that he may have taken of me and Bob was out the door.
Yeah.
It was done.
It's over.
He yelled at us. Like very, very rarely do you see a supervisor come unhinged. He did. He F-bombed us.
Really?
Like, what the are you thinking? We're like, listen. Like,
You're like, bro, it's hot outside.
by the way, and look, I have tokened my own phrase called keeping the H, keeping it humble. I'm a humble guy, but here's what I will say. Top performer at this rental car company. I sell a ton of. Listen, do you know who you're looking at? I'm an award winner.
Throw the stats.
I'm an award winner. I would get invited to these fancy dinners and these elite events for all these things that I would upsell. Listen, I'm a top performer. I get peripheral treatment. Do I not? I didn't say that to him. That's what I'm thinking in the back of my mind. I'm like,
I can't imagine. Can I just go? Can we pause right there? Because I want to. What I love about this moment right now is that you're admitting what I would be thinking. Because listen, you're ready to take responsibility. You know you did wrong. Guys dropping F-bombs. You're trying to figure out a way to tell a story about how you dropped a styrofoam cup of water on an unsuspecting employee friend. It went out of control. You didn't know. You thought, okay, whoops, a little bit of water. You didn't realize it would turn into a war zone. Jim loses his mind, throws an entire water jug, almost kills Bob. You had no idea what you were facing. I get all that. But I also think we talk about NBA. Listen, sometimes when I say star at least this rental place, you were a superstar. You're Kyrie, you're LeBron, you're KD, dare I say, right? You're Steph, you're performing. day in and day out. Now, here's the reality of our world. Sometimes stars get preferential treatment. And I'm not saying it's fair, but I'm saying if you're delivering, I'd be sitting in that chair going, listen, I made a mistake. I messed up here, a little mess up here, forgot to show up to practice. My bad. Broke the code of NBA conduct accidentally.
Right.
Here's the reality with those performers, they usually get second chances. Not only that, usually the ownership, they should be walking on eggshells around the talent.
Somebody's got to say it.
Someone's got to say, hey, listen, hey, area manager, guess what? I understand you're managing things. You wouldn't have the profit margin that you do if I'm not out there selling. You understand? Always be closing, MFer. And now you're sitting across from me. And because I make a small mistake, you're not forgiving me for one little mistake. Do you know who you're talking? Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? I had to say,
Purdy, listen. Yeah, that's what's going. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. That's what's going through my mind. Now all of a sudden it becomes like, how could you do this to me? I'm building the culture here. Who isn't to say that my water pranks aren't lightening up the mood? Right? Maybe it didn't lighten up the mood in this situation.
Oh, it lit it up.
It lit. Oh yeah, it lit it up. So we're sitting there. We're getting the brunt of it. I felt like at that point I was walking on a plank. I mean, your hands are tied. You're done. And you're just looking for any reason you can. Hey, let me off the hook here. I'll hook you up with something. Like, hey, I promise I will sell the most insurance I've ever sold if you can let me go on this one. So, I mean, I kind of figured like, all right, am I really going to get canned for this? Probably not. But I also told him too, I'm like, look, let's look at this objectively. And I'm a salesman, and Aaron, you know this. I think you and I both know there isn't anything we can close any deal we want to on anything. And I say that in a humble way. Like I think we have a good acumen for sales and just kind of
just sell it up. Yeah.
So I'm almost sitting here thinking like, hey, was the water prank a good idea? Probably not. But let's look at it from a psychological standpoint here from Jim. You have a guy on 100-degree day. By the way, he's a heavier set guy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Everybody has different builds. Maybe it cooled him off. Maybe it didn't.
Who knows? For
someone to go off the handle like that from something innocent, not taking away the seriousness that we shouldn't have done a prank, but to go to the level of almost assaulting or injuring somebody, and I think you and I there's something bigger going.
You caught him at the wrong time. You caught him on a bad day. So, I don't want to be at his place when the lights go off. God bless him. Something's going on because, yep.
You do not. This is the kind of individual. You do not want to be there when the lights go. Honestly, you don't want to be there when the lights are on.
Hey, can I preview something real quick as we bring this to a close?
Yeah, Anthony, and by the way, real quick before you do that.
Yeah.
For everybody watching, do not sign off because I'm going to tell you there is a twist to this story that no one knows.
Oh my God, dude. So I want to just preview something real quick that just came to me. We're going to record an episode. What you just said about catching someone on the wrong day and things getting unhinged. I'm criticizing Jim, and you're right. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what one little thing. I've done it myself. And wow. I'm going to tell a story about your boy coming unhinged. Okay. So preview that. Okay. I would actually say we're going to follow this episode with that story so that there's some continuity. Look out for it. Take us, throw us on this twist. I'm really curious to hear what happens.
So here's the twist. We finished the rest of the workday out. We didn't face any discipline because, again, it was just an innocent prank. Everybody came to terms with that. And again, we did a great job day to day. This was one little mess up.
Right.
So this individual, Jim, he sails off into the sunset. Never to see him again. Until a couple months later.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
You can't make it up. Look, here's the thing. You can't make this stuff up. I'm working.
Shout out to the staff.
Shout out. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean my glasses too.
Shout out to these glasses, by the way.
Yeah.
And for those of you watching BID, don't worry. We will have merch at some point. It might be a little bit. We'll get you a shout out to the staff shirt.
We got you.
Y'all can purchase.
Everyone needs to shout out something to the staff.
Shout out something. So, my dad.
You see Jim.
Summer job. Still working at the rental car place, by the way. I'm just picking up some extra hours on my days off just to make some extra money. My dad, the sheriff. Not an actual sheriff, but we call him that.
The GOAT.
Worked for a large company doing lawn care. So I'd get out into the heat, get out, do some lawn care, make some extra cash. And, I kind of would walk in and everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's Jeff's son, They just kind of knew like, oh, that's the boss's son. So I kind of had I had that little vibe going for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little cred.
Sometimes it worked for me. Sometimes it worked against me. But nothing ever bad. It's about 6:30 a.m., probably on a Monday. I pull into the parking lot, back into my space. Always back in, by the way. That's a whole freaking episode. Why do people pull into spaces?
Gotta back in.
Just back in.
Back in.
I'm sorry.
Take a class.
Aaron, if you are a pull-in person, it's okay.
No, I'm a back in.
Thank you. We'll talk about this. We will do a short on this. So I look out and I'm like, that Jeep looks awfully familiar.
You remember it driving away?
I remember it peeling it off. Yeah. Door opens. Guess who it is? It's Jim. Walking in to check in at his job, working for my dad.
Wow. This is, and just hold on. Before we bring this to a close, just an FYI. Look, we're going to put it out there. We're in Northeast Ohio, right? And when you're working at the Cleveland airport, right? Large metropolitan area, meaning outside of Cleveland too. So I just want to say, I'm not going to localize this, but where your dad's working, this is like 30 to 40 miles. It's not like it's in the same block or the same. It's a
suburb.
It's a large region, right? So still, even though it's still a region, that is a wild coincidence, especially considering what happened. Now, it's not like he's walking back into the rental car place. He's working for your dad. Aaron, do you say anything?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I walk right
up to him.
You thirsty?
Hey, you thirsty? Can't
Hot day. Hot day, huh?
I should have got a super soaker is what I should have done.
What did you say?
I walk right up to him. It's one of those moments where he locks eyes with me. I lock eyes with him.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of, it always comes back to Top Gun. When Maverick has the disadvantage, he kind of does one of these.
Yeah.
Goes right under him. And then Maverick has the position to close in. I gotcha. I had him on my radar. I had him locked in. I walked right up to him. He saw what was coming. And I go up to him. I go, hey, good to see you. How's it going? You work here? He goes, yeah, I work here. He goes, do you? I go, oh, my dad's the boss here. He goes, really? He goes, your dad's so-and-so? I go, yeah. He goes, oh, I hope everything's been going well. And he kind of stutters over himself and super awkward moment. But
right.
You and I, we operate well in the uncomfortable.
There it is.
So I didn't want to bring up past times, but the look in my eyes said, hey, I didn't forget what you did. Now, he might have been thinking the same thing about me, but the reality is...
He might be thinking, I remember the water cup. And you're thinking, I remember the water jug.
Yeah. What he should be thinking is, that's a damn clever son of a bee for rigging up a cup of water and cooling me off on a 100-degree day. But in turn, he's thinking about me potentially taking him to a place of He did go to a place of no return. You can't come back from that. So I remember telling my dad about that. I'm like, "You're never gonna believe the story." And it's like I told him everything. He didn't last there very long. Like he ended up quitting.
Too hot of
God only
weather.
knows where this guy is at today. But here's what I'm gonna end it at this. Um, I wish and I hope for this man that he's dry wherever he's at.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's get to work. I'm going to end it right there.